What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We're checking back in. We got our Week 10 on the Dot NFL live stream coming at you guys here on Sunday morning. Optimism is always high. We are coming off one of our best shows to date. We went good old sweep. We went 7-0, 8 or plus 8.7 units. Was a nice feeling. It all came full circle there when we were watching the games. I'm like, man, that one hit. Oh, that one hit too. That one, you don't expect to sweep everyone, but it's nice to and it gives you a nice little cushion. So now we are 37-25 plus 12.43 units if you've been tuning in every single show. So as always, appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, this is brought to you guys by Occupy Fantasy. Make sure you guys check them out at occupyfantasy.com. The best overall DFS content, I think, in the entire industry. You can join their Discord in the link below. Make sure you use my referral link and their lineup optimizer. I use it religiously. Absolutely one of the best in the industry. And we're going to use their OccuProp radar. If you guys have tuned in before, very, very easy tool to use on their website, and you can search for props and notice or get the best odds across different sports books. So make sure you guys check those guys out at occupyfantasy.com. And if you guys are here, throw a comment in below on YouTube or Twitch. And if you guys are on X or I think it's just called X now. I think people just stopped saying Twitter. If you guys are on there, simply hit that. I think it's a repost button now instead of retweet. So it's all changing every single week. It feels like. All right. So as always, we're going to dive into the DFS. We're going to go game by game and just kind of see what's going on. We do have some big news. We're still kind of waiting on at the 10:30 mark this morning, if Jamar Chase is going to play or not. So that's going to play a big, big factor in how a lot of people are building their lineups. So it's 50-50. I think he ends up sitting. And I think even if he ends up playing, he's going to be somewhat limited. So I'm building as though he's not going to be not going to be playing. So got a couple comments here. We got Justin said, "What's good, Dot? What's good, man?" All right. So yeah, big news there was Chase. We'll see. It'll be after the show. So make sure you guys are ready to go, switching your lineups or such. We're just going to go game by game. We got the Germany game on. If you guys see me, look over to my right. I'm watching Hunter Henry catch a pass now. Actually just fumbled. So that was fun. So keep me posted on that. All right, let's dive into it. We got the Titans at the Buccaneers, over 39 total. So Buccaneers had the great game with CJ Stroud, and I was nowhere near that game last week. So I felt left out. I felt like I missed something. This week, I feel like I should go back to it with the over 39. I feel like that was a little bit, I don't know, misleading. I thought this was going to be a higher total. Both of these defense can be thrown on. I could see it being a sneaky shootout. If you wanted to go back to it, it's it's a cheaper stack if you want to go with the Tennessee side. But I'm just going to go to bits and pieces. I love Hopkins. I love Evans in these matchups. You can go Godwin, but I just one that I haven't got to fully stack, but I would not be opposed if anybody said to go ahead and stack that game. Then we have a big marquee matchup here. Browns, Ravens, over 38. Should be a grind it mentality game. You could play. I'm pretty sure Keaton Mitchell's in. You got Jerome Ford. So I have a prop from this game that I'll have later on that I absolutely love. So we'll get to that. But I mean, you're really talking a grinded out game, not a pretty game for DFS. So take bits and pieces from this game, but don't go full out in this one. Saints, Vikings. I guess before the season, you would say this would be a great game to stack. But given the circumstances of both teams' landscapes, I think this is a stay away. You can take bits and pieces, and Chris Olave, Michael Thomas did get arrested, but he is playing. Obviously, Kamara is always in there. Taysom has just carved out a unique X factor role. Then you have Josh Dobbs coming in the game last week, being America's hero with the comeback win against the Falcons. Hawkinson's beat up, so there's just a lot of factors on the Viking side that just kind of I'm erring on the side of caution here. If you do want to stack it, I'd probably go to 3-by-1 with the Saints, but man, it's tough to stack this game in my opinion. All right, and then you got the Texans-Bengals game. That is the game that everybody's kind of waiting on that news. If Chase is out, it just clears up so much value. There's so much value on the Texans side already with Nico out and Pierce out. So you got Singletary again. Even though he flopped last week, you can always go back to him because a lot of people will not go back to him after he kind of burned him. But then you have Noah Brown. You got Tank Dell. Dalton Schultz has been a beast as of late. And then the Bengals, you got Trent Irwin. Then you have Tyler Boyd fully in the mix. I think if you want to go heavy on Joe Mixon in this matchup as 5.5-point favorites, that total has been going, or that spread's been going down from 7 to 5.5. Don't mind that there. But yeah, this is the game. If you guys are waiting to build, wait on the Jamar Chase build or news to build that one. But it is a stackable game because you have so much value that you can get in a bunch of bigger stars into your lineup if you go that route. 49ers, Jaguars. I think this is one of my favorite games to stack. I'm going to go 3-by-1 49ers coming out of that bye, 3-game losing streak. I think they're going to have to dominate this game and to get back into the winning column. They're going to have to be good on all facets. So I like the Jaguars. If you're going to bring it back, I'd probably, in this order, I'd probably go Kirk, Ridley, and then if you want to, you could go Evan Ingram because Evan Ingram, these tight ends eat up the 49ers this year. So do not mind that at all if you want to do the 3-by-1 there. If you're going to 3-by-1 it, I'd probably include CMC and Debo or CMC and Ayuk. Then you got the Packers-Steelers game, which I'll get to. I have a play in this one. It's actually a repeat of last week if you guys tuned in of the Packers game. But yeah, I hate this game whatsoever. This game is not fun. Both these quarterbacks have struggled mightily this season. Steelers 3-point favorites. If you want to take bits and pieces, you can take Deontay. You could take Aaron Jones. You could take Jalen Warren or Najee or something like that. But not a game I'm getting to. The Falcons, Cardinals. So you got, man, if Bijan, I really wanted to take a Bijan prop or a Bijan anytime touchdown. Just like, I feel like Arthur Smith's just going to be the most hated person in the universe if Bijan doesn't do well in this game. The marquee matchup to be against the Arizona Cardinals. And if he gives majority of those snaps to Algier again, it's gonna be bad. And if they lose, it's just gonna be all bad. So I kind of wanted to default it to a Bijan prop, but I did not. For the sake of the show, I wanted to retain viewers and get more viewers over time. So didn't want to go that route, but I would not be opposed if anybody threw a Bijan over rushing yards or an anytime touchdown prop into their parlay. I could see it. The narrative's there. Murray's back. If you want to trust this game, it's just a lot of question marks, but I mean, I would probably stack the Cardinals and then run it back with a London, run it back with a Pitts, or run it back with a Bijan, if anything. Because you got Trey McBride, which is a very, very cheap tight end and a great matchup here. So you could go Murray, McBride, and then you could also go Marquise Brown, and then bring it back one of those guys. 43.5-point total. Don't hate it. And then probably the one matchup everybody's going to look forward to is this Lions-Chargers game, and 48.5-point total. Obviously, it's a great game to stack. However, it's just really, really expensive. So with all the value, I mean, you could go a completely different route, but a lot of the value on this slate, you might not have to get to this game to stack it. You might just do a mini stack 1-by-1 with a Amon-Ra and a Keenan Allen, or you could go with the running backs with Montgomery or Eckler, or if you think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get more run, you go Gibbs and Eckler, 2 receiving backs, which is pretty good, and a 48.5-point total for sure. Justin says Hajj on ACL value with Hollins out. Yep, that's another value play there you could go with in that. If you want to go with a different stack there with Murray and the Falcons there matchup. But yeah, this Lions Chargers game, I'm probably not going to full on stack it with the rest of the value, but I'm taking bits and pieces of it for sure and doing a little mini stack. Seahawks, Commanders, always, if you're a competent offense, which, man, if you watched last week, the Seahawks were not, but I think that they're better. Obviously, no team is as worse as their worst game, and no team is as best as their best. So Seahawks are a stack for me this week. Minus 6-point favorites, 44.5-point total. You got Geno. They got to bounce back. Got to bounce back from that abysmal Baltimore Ravens performance. Geno, Lockett, Geno, DK. You got JSN. I think that's a great matchups all the way around against this Commanders defense that's just absolutely abysmal against the pass. So give me all the Seahawks. If you want to run it back, you got Dotson, you got McLaurin. If you want to go a little bit different, you could go Samuel or Antonio Gibson for sure. But definitely a game stack for me is the Seahawks. And then the last game of the slate, of this 10-game slate, we got the Giants and the Cowboys. Cowboys, 17.5-point favorites. If you have not used them in their Survivor League, I'm sure they're going to be very, very heavily owned in that aspect. Tony Pollard, if you want to bet him, you should definitely bet him to score a touchdown, but he's like minus one, I think it's minus 150, minus 160. But I think, that DeVito kid, he is just #bad. He's just, it's tough to watch their games. He can't throw over 10 yards, it feels like. And they're just going to check down. No Waller. They got Wandale there still. But, this Giants team is in shambles. So this game, I'm probably not targeting too much. 38.5-point total. If Saquon breaks off a big play, that's probably the only way the Giants get some type of offense in this game. But the Cowboys, you could just 3-0 stack it if you like. They do have a significant, I think they're like mid-20s at their point total. So, it's just, man, it's tough to stack a 17.5-point favorite. Take bits and pieces, take Lamb, take Ferguson, take Pollard, and match them up with some different stacks around there. So let me know what you guys are on in DFS. If you guys have any other ones that you guys are thinking of. But yeah, my main ones are that Cincy Houston game, depending on the Jamar Chase news, San Fran 3x1, and then the Seattle 3x1. So those are my main takeaways then from the DFS slate. All right. And as always, if you guys have questions, fantasy start sit, props, spread totals, whatever it is, I'm here for the next 15 minutes. Would love to hear from you guys if you guys are here. If not, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're almost to 100 followers, 100 subscribers. So that'd be nice to hit. I think we're at 94. So tell everybody, tell your friends, hit that subscribe button. All righty. All right. So let's get into, I got a couple total plays. So no spreads today, but we got a first half total and we have a full game total to get to. And this was a repeat of last week. And man, I'm just going to go right back to it. It's the same number. And it's actually I think a worse offense that they're playing. But last week was bad because Brett Ripien was the quarterback there. But we're going to go Packers Steelers again, or Packers again, first half under 19.5, minus 115 for a unit over on DK. The Packers in the first half, they averaged the league least. They averaged like 4.5 points per first half every single game. It's abysmal. I think he's got a passer rating. Jordan Love's got a passer rating of like 60 something, like the low 60s. To compound that, you got the Steelers, who are the 5th lowest first half total bet. I think their total is 6.9 points in the first half. So it's all around bad in the first half. And I just think these two teams struggle to move the football, struggle to know their identity as offenses, and they pound it with Najee. Steelers do early and often, and then the Packers Jordan Love just struggles to get anything going. But then the second half comes around, and then they absolutely crush it. So I'm going to go back to the well here to the gift that keeps on giving. The Packers first half, they are 6-1-1 against the number this year, and then the Steelers are 5-1 to the under in their last 6. So tons and tons of trends, tons and tons of I mean, if you watch these guys, these two teams, it's brutal to watch in the first half. So hopefully we don't see a lot of this on the Red Zone channel. And if we do, we're we're probably going to lose this one. But I'm pretty good here with the Packers Steelers first half under 19.5. All right, and one more total. We got another under. We're going to. I've kind of prefaced this with the DFS talk, but this Saints Vikings game, I don't see much going on. And if you've watched this Saints team, they want to be explosive. They just can't. Derek Carr just cannot get the ball to Olave in space. They can't get. I mean, they do have some big plays to Rashid Shaheed, but it's usually in the second half. If you watch most of their games, a lot of times they check it down to Kamara. A lot of times, Jamal Williams has been getting a little bit more run, and then you have Taysom coming in and extending drives with his feet. But overall, it's more on this Vikings side because there's so many question marks. Hawkinson's going to play, but he's not going to be 100%. Addison and KJ Osborne's going to play, but not be 100%. So there's a lot of their core offensive, and obviously Kirk Cousins is out, and you got Josh Dobbs still learning the playbook. So just don't think there's going to be a whole lot of extended drives, whole lot of action in this one from the Vikings. I know they're at home, but man, it's tough Dobbs could come in and just kind of be instinctual, but now he's going to try to learn, obviously learn the playbook. Very, very smart guy. You definitely could probably do it, but it's a different thing to practice it and then put it into the game. So I'm leaning the under here with the Saints Vikings matchup. So let me know what you guys think on those two under plays. Not usual for me that we got unders, but we're going that route. Green Bay and Pitt on national TV. Hey, those primetime games are on national TV, and those are always hitting the under. Always hitting those under. They're brutal to watch. But as Big Cat would say, you would have died for that Bears-Panthers game in July. You would have died for it. And I agree with that. I know a lot of people complain about them, but yeah, we would be oozing at the fact that we could get some football in July. All right, and as always, we got our VIP teaser that we are going to get. If you guys do want my VIP picks, make sure you guys subscribe or below, and you can just click on the wap.com link, and you guys can get to that. From there, we're going to go back with the Ravens. So Ravens were in it last week, and then we are going to go pair that with the Seahawks in a pick 'em. So we're going to go 6-point teaser with minus 120 odds, 1.25 units over on DK. Tease the Ravens from 6.5 down to half point. Then we're going to go Seahawks 6-point favorites down to a pick 'em. And both. I really think this Browns Ravens game is just going to be a slugfest. So going with the total here, or not the total, the spread going down with the Ravens here, and then the Seahawks should roll. I would not even mind if you took their actual spread here, but I'm gonna tease it down just in case that that Gino just struggles to get it going again. But I like this teaser a lot. 6-point teaser, Ravens half point, Seahawks in a pick. All right, so now we got our 3 props, and we are gonna pull up the OccuProp radar over on Occupy Fantasy's website. And we are going with, I know I've not dogged Josh Dobbs, but I do see some value in one of his player props today. And as always, you can see it here. Just go to the occupyfantasy.com, go to the betting tab, click on, you can go to live odds, and you have the deposit bonuses. Make sure you guys, if you guys are on those respective states, that they have deposit bonuses, use their links. And then the OccuProp radar, click that, and that's where we're at currently. Search for any player, team, or game, and you can see all the available player props. Such an easy tool to use. It's so easy to figure out the odds, the best odds that are out there. So our first one we're going to go with. We're going to go Josh Dobbs over 5.5 rush attempts, plus 105 over on BetMGM. You can get it plus 100 on DK if you don't have BetMGM. It's minus 114 over on FanDuel. Josh Dobbs has hit this in 4 straight. Even last week when he just came in, probably he played 3.5 quarters or whatnot. And he's also hit this in 7 of 9 games this season. Like I said before, I don't think he knows the playbook in full. he's going to rely on his instincts and the way that the Saints team can pressure somebody. I think he can for sure roll out of the pocket and get us 6 rushing attempts, because I think without Cam Akers, they're not going to move the football a lot with Madison. Tyson Chandler is just, he's okay, but I think Dobbs is going to try to extend those drives with his legs, over 5.5 rush attempts. I've seen a lot of people on his rushing yard total, which is, it's kind of up and down. You got 30.5 over on FanDuel, 27.5 over on the 3 other books here. Heavily juiced, minus 130. I don't mind that angle if you want to go that route, but I think we can get some some rush attempts here. And who knows, if he has his magic again and they're up, those kneel downs count as rush attempts. So just for what it's worth, I think Josh Dobbs over 5.5. I think it's a tick too low. So give me his rush attempts here for plus 105. All right, and we got 2 other props to go, and then we'll end the show with our anytime touchdown, which we've hit 2 weeks in a row. We're going to try to hit the first touchdown once again, and then we have our 3-leg anytime touchdown parlay to end it. I want to know who you guys think will score today too. So throw that in the comments. Love to hear from you guys. And we're going to go to a repeat play from last week, actually. So taking 2 of them, and this one actually went down 3 yards. So we took his over receiving yards, 27.5, I believe, last week. And this week it is 24.5. So let me look him up on the OccuProp radar real quick. We are going to go with Rachaad White, over 24.5 receiving yards, minus 110. And you guys can see it actually went to it was minus 110 over on BetMGM before it. So I would take it over on Caesars at minus 117. It's over on FanDuel. It's 26.5. On DK, it's 24.5 receiving yards. And like I said, you can't run the football very well against the Titans. The Bucs can't run the ball well in general. And I'm on my future with Rachaad White's under, I think, 725 rush yards. And I think that's on pace currently. But his receiving yards, absolutely been dominating in the receiving game. The last 3 weeks, he's gotten 65 yards, 70, and then 46 last week against Houston. And he didn't do it with a lot of targets last week, but he has had 6 receptions, 7 receptions, and 4 receptions in the last 3 games. So do like what I'm seeing out of Rachaad White. And I really, really think that this is the angle to attack the Titans. I do like Evans. I do like Godwin. But Rachaad White makes this offense go, in my opinion. And it's a really nice, and we get 3 yards below what we got last week, which is kind of surprising because usually when people crush it like that, it creeps up to the 30 range. We got Justin again. We got King, Henry, and CD both get in today. Okay, I do like CD, and I like the King Henry for sure. Okay, all right. So we got Rachaad White over 24.5 receiving yards, minus 110. So let me know what you guys think of this one. It's a repeat. It went down 3 yards. I'm going back to it. I think this is another gold mine here with Rachaad White, whose usage in the pass game is just incredible. Alrighty. And we're going to go back to that Browns-Ravens game. A guy that absolutely crushes the Cleveland Browns in this matchup. If you guys have watched many Ravens games, this guy has I would say he got kind of early on in the season, Zay was eating into his usage a little bit, but I think that's gone away. And they've kind of figured out that this is their guy once again, and he's going to be targeted heavily. So we're going to go Mark Andrews over 45.5 receiving yards. I've actually taken his alternate yards of like 70 plus. I do love this matchup. He had 80 yards and 2 touchdowns last game against them. And he's hit this in 5 of his last 6. So he's went 80, 65, 69, 63, 40, and then 80. So absolutely rolling. This offense is rolling currently, and Mark Andrews is the key to it. his receptions, 6 or 5, 6, 4, 4, 4, and then he had 9 last week. So this whole Zay Flowers cutting into him act, I think that's kind of gone away. And this is totally Mark Andrews as the wide receiver 1 into this Todd Monken offense that everyone was kind of waiting for. We were all waiting for it. We all had it all preseason long, and you can see it. So 46.5 over on BetMGM, 46.5 on Caesars, and then same on DK. And then you can get 45.5 over on FanDuel or PointsBet, wherever you guys are at. But yeah, Marky Mark should definitely get back to work. And if you want to take his alternate yards, I did take his alternate receiving yards at 70 plus for this matchup. Alrighty, we got one comment. Rob B says, love it, Justin. Add in Lamar and ship it. All right. King Henry, CeeDee Lamb, and Lamar. There's your parlay. Okay, I like it. Okay, we got our anytime touchdown to end the show. We are going to go back to that that Seattle Washington matchup, and for a guy, and this is if you guys have been with Occupy Fantasy, they're underperforming wide receivers usually hit. They're basically due to score a touchdown, and this guy's been on the list for a little bit. I think he's been on the list for a couple weeks now, and he still hasn't. So he's due. He's 100% due. It's happening. It's going to be this week. And it's actually, he's been scoreless in 3 straight. We're going to go DK Metcalf plus 160 for 1 unit. Anytime touchdown. That's on FanDuel. Let me pull up the Occupy Radar. You can see plus 160 over on FanDuel, plus 140 on DK, as low as plus 130 on BetMGM. So I do like the roller coaster odds, and we're getting our best ones here. And then I'm also taking his first touchdown plus 900 for 0.1 units. Just throwing a little sprinkle on the first touchdown just in case. But this Commanders defense struggles mightily against this against deep ball. DK loves the deep ball, and I think in the red zone, we can see DK Metcalf get targeted 3 or 4 or 5 times. If you want to take him for 2 touchdowns, I'm good with that. I really think this is a get right moment for the Seahawks, and they should absolutely roll today. DK Metcalf is the player to score plus 160 for me, and plus 900 we're going to sprinkle on the anytime first touchdown. All righty. Let's get to our man, I forgot to let me make this up real quick for you guys. Sorry. We got Metcalf. We're going to do our anytime touchdown parlay, and it's going to be all right. Got it. All right. Metcalf, Montgomery, Hopkins, plus 1472 over on FanDuel. And David Montgomery's back. I think plus 105 over on FanDuel is his odds. You got plus 105. Gibbs is plus 110. Montgomery is the goal line back. I know Dan Campbell came out and said that he's going to be, they're going to share the load, but they're going to do what's best for their offense. And that's their best for their offense is David Montgomery in the goal line. And they are the highest run efficiency rate in the red zone. David Montgomery comes back. He scores. And DeAndre Hopkins, we saw Nico, we saw Tank, we saw Noah Brown torch this Bucs offense. I like what I've seen out of Will Levis. I think Hopkins can score today. So give me Metcalf, Montgomery, and Hopkins plus 1472 over on FanDuel for 0.25 units. We've struggled to hit these parlays, but I feel good. We've been 2 out of 3, like 3 weeks in a row. We got to get to 1 for sure. So let's recap for us. You guys know my stacks. Let's go with the recap here with Packers Steelers first half. Under 19.5. We got the Saints Vikings under 41. We got the 6.2 team teaser. Ravens half 0.5. Seahawks and a pick'em. And then we got our props. We got Josh Dobbs over 5.5 rush attempts. If you want to take his rush yards, don't hate it that, but I'm good with here taking his rush attempts. Rashad White over 24.5 three reception yards lower than what he's been or what it was last week. So I'm gonna take it again. We got Mark Andrews over 45.5 receiving yards, DK to score anytime, and also his first touchdown. And then we got the Metcalf, Montgomery, and the Hopkins anytime touchdown parlay. So let's see if we can hit one of these. Let's go. I'm not going to say back-to-back sweeps, but let's get another profitable card, and let's build on this 37-25 for plus 12.43 units season that we got rolling. It's nice. We're on week 10, past the halfway point. Let's continue to cash. And if you guys have any additional questions, make sure you guys join the Discord below. Hit me up on Twitter if you got any other questions up until lock status. We have an hour until Jamar Chase news, so make sure you guys are tuning in to that. And if you guys need any other advice there, hit me up and we'll go from there. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's have another profitable card, and we'll be back next Sunday at 9 a.m. See you guys.